Good morning. Welcome to the Rotary Club of Hudson. My name is Marilyn Orr, President of the club, and we are thrilled to have you join us today. This meeting broadcast is available on HCTV, as well as our Rotary of Hudson YouTube channel and Facebook. Our club meets weekly using this digital platform, Zoom. When we meet in person, it's at Laurel Lake Retirement Community for breakfast. We hope to get back to that soon. We meet most Wednesday mornings from 7:15 to 8:30 a.m. So come out to join us for a meeting. We would love to have you as a guest. To learn more about Rotary, our club, and the impact we are having on our local community and the world, please visit our website, rotaryhudson.org. So enjoy this meeting today and help us share the message that Rotary opens doors of opportunity.
Good.
Good morning, Rotarians and guests. Welcome to the Rotary Club of Hudson. I'm Ron Stroll, the Sergeant at Arms, and our invocation this morning by Positive Voice.
Yeah, maybe I would love. Good morning, everyone. Morning. Good morning. And put together a prayer. Oh God, you made us in your own image. You redeemed us. Look with compassion on the whole human being. Take away the arrogance and hatred which affects our hearts. Break down the walls that separate us. Unite us in bonds of love. And work through our struggle and confusion to accomplish your purpose on earth. That in your good time, all nations and races may serve you in harmony around your earth.
Thank you, Father Joe. And to lead us in the pledge and the forward test, Andy Morris.
Thank you, Ron. We all please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And now we please turn and see our Rotary flag and join me in. Never mind. First, is it the truth? Second, is it fair to all concerned? Third, will it build goodwill and better friendships? And fourth, will it be beneficial to all concerned? Excellent. Very good.
Thanks, Andy. And now our president, and sure.
Thank you, Ron. Just if anybody has problems hearing today, I mean, last week we had some technological issues from computer to sound here in the room, but we think we have that corrected. So if in the future you still have audio issues or hearing issues, there are devices that are available here that can amplify the sound for you. So we want everybody to be able to hear. So if after today you still have issues, please see one of us and we'll make sure you get one of those devices so that you can enjoy the meeting. All right. So to start the quote for today, technology is just a tool. In terms of getting the kids working together and motivating them, the teacher is the most important. I think we're going to learn a little bit more about the technology down here today. But without any further ado, it's auction time. So Marilyn, would you come up and give us an update on where we are with the auction?
It is indeed gala season, and all of the packets have been prepared. I'm counting for most Rotarians. A few people have been excused, but other than that, the letters are out, and it is time to take a look at the contents of your packets. Inside, you'll find a sampling of information that promotes Rotary, talks about what the benefits are for sponsorship of the gala, and also shares some information in a brochure and a little flyer that we have about Rotary itself. On the left side of your packet, are the businesses that have been assigned to you for contact. You'll see that if the donor gave to us the last time we gave, had a that information is present on the sheet and it's given to you. If there's nothing there, that means this might be a new business to town or someone who gave previously in 2018. So the letters are out. We've already had responses from several people, and we're looking forward to a very successful game this year in Camp Manitowoc on September 10th. We'll talk to you more about that later.
All right, well, one of these things that when you become club president, sometimes all the information doesn't get transferred. So apparently one of my responsibilities was to get Maryland for appropriate recognition for being club president. So come with that. So first of all, we had the most coveted pin in Rotary, the past president pin. Oh yeah. And we also have a very nice plaque for you, Maryland. It says Maryland Lenore, President, Rotary Club of Hudson, 2020-2021.
Most appreciated.
Thank you very much for your leadership last year, Maryland. And now we'll have George Schneider present our speaker.
Marilyn, you did a really good job last year. Good morning, Rotarians. Technology Month, as you heard from Pat, continues this week with a virtual guided tour of Hudson High School's Makerspace Lab. Our guide is Andrew Robitaille, who's a media specialist at HHS, in addition to overseeing the school's library media program, and who advises the school's Makerspace Club. The Makerspace is a fabrication lab, provides students opportunities to design and market a variety of products. The facility consists of 3D printers, heat presses, electronic devices, sewing and embroidery machines, as well as a wood shop. Club members are given opportunities to share field trips, competitions, entrepreneurship, community and participation. Andrew graduated from Ohio University with an education degree in comprehensive communications. He became a student teacher in Australia, where he met his wife and went on to teach information technology at a private school in Brisbane for 5 years. He returned to the U.S. in 2007 and accepted a teaching position at Jackson Middle School near Ashland. And received a master's degree in library and information sciences from Kent State in 2011 and joined Hudson High School in 2018. Our speaker this morning resides in Suffolk Township, his wife and 3-year-old son. It's my pleasure to now welcome him to Hudson Rotary. Andrew, the screen is yours.
George, if you could turn off that mic.
Okay, good morning, everybody. I'm just double checking that you can see me and hear me okay, and it's not totally going out of control here. Greetings from Hudson High School. We had a little bit of an internet issue this morning, that being there is no internet at Hudson High School today. So I am hotspotting from my phone, and I hope this is working out for everybody. If I could just get a nod from the Zoom people that you can hear me okay. Okay, wonderful. Well, welcome to the Hudson High School Makerspace. I'm joined by one of my students, Desmond, who got up nice and early this morning after working a long shift last night. He's been in the Makerspace now for, this is your 3rd year, right? Or he's...
Well, I'm starting, so I've been in here since I'm a freshman. I'm going into my junior year, and this is my 1st year being an officer in the Makerspace. So I'm taking a higher position as I am going to also Kent Roosevelt for a CAD program to help bring that into the Makerspace as well.
So he was very interested in a lot of the elements of the makerspace that involved the design of three-dimensional objects like 3D printing. And that passion got him interested in moving on to study it even further. So he's going to go into the 6th District Compact this coming school year and do computer-aided design at Kent Roosevelt, which is really awesome. And I'm going to pick, and everyone here in the makerspace here at Hudson is going to pick his brain when he comes back with all of his knowledge from CAD. And we're just going to continue to grow our capabilities here in the makerspace at the high school as well. So a little bit about the makerspace here at the high school. It is a club, a student club that anyone is eligible to join, anyone, and from freshmen on to seniors. And it's a kind of a place where it's encouraged, where people can come and tinker. They can design if they have a crafty side, or if they have an engineering side, they're welcome to come here and use a lot of equipment to enhance their talents and what they're interested in pursuing. So it covers a wide variety of different types of applications that we do here. We have lots of students that come in with an engineering background. We've had some students build radio controlled airplanes and actually fly them over our football field. We've had some kids make some drones. We've had, what are some other engineering type things that you can recall we've done?
Well, we've done stuff on a Shape Oko, which is a machine that we can actually cut out metal and make 3D printed objects out of metal. We obviously have a 3D printer, so we can put like plastic down and make pretty much whatever we want within the bed surface area. We've also had people come in, and currently we don't have any up and running. But with us in collaboration with another company, we've actually made vinyl display boards that like put up color. And we also have VR, so virtual reality, where people can make simulations, or they can go in simulations and interact with stuff.
And so that's kind of on the engineering side of things. We have a lot. We also have a lot for the crafty folks, for those that want to come in. And if you're familiar with the Cricut, it's a cutting machine. We have a couple of Cricut machines. We have a couple of button making machines. We have an embroidery machine. We have a couple of sewing machines. So we do a bit with textiles and a lot with designing of clothing. Kind of along those lines, as well as we have heat presses here that allow us to make custom t-shirts, make custom hats and things like that. And in a moment, we're going to show you some of the things that have been made here in the makerspace. So students can also get into a bit of electronics if they want to do some coding and building of circuits and that kind of stuff. If they're really into that, we have some, I might get a little technical here, but we have some Raspberry Pis and some Arduinos and circuit boards, things like that, where students are able to design their own electronics too. So kind of a big mix of things that we do here at the Makerspace. And like I said, it's a student club. So we have it formed that way because a lot of the machines here do require some training, and there's a pretty good price tag on some of them. A couple of our laser cutting machines are very expensive. So as a club, we can organize it so that students that are interested in learning these machines can come in, get proper training on learning how to use the machines, and then also involved in the training of the machines, they can start to join some of the projects that we do in the Makerspace. And that using these projects, they can gain the skills that they want to improve their capabilities on these machines, but also give back to the community. So a lot of an emphasis of what we do here is community giving. So some examples, one example that I can think of right away is actually thanks to the Hudson Rotary Club. We got a grant in 2019 that allowed us to partner up with the Valor Home in Akron, which is a residential facility for homeless veterans. We were able to use that grant money to make a whole bunch of merchandise for the Valor Home, including hoodies, t-shirts, magnets, coffee mugs, all kinds of things that help promote them to the community. So we do a lot of grant writing. We get a lot of grant money to partner up with other community organizations. One example we just did was just in the spring, we joined forces with an upcoming playground that's being developed in Portage County for children with disabilities, and they were looking to do some fundraising. So one of the people on their committee contacted us at the Makerspace And the students designed all kinds of products that then they sold as a fundraiser to raise money for their equipment. So we're talking a bunch of different types of products, from t-shirts to coffee mugs to hoodies, buttons. We have button presses, signage, drink coasters. I mean, it really goes on and on what we're able to do in here. And as we continue to build more and more machines in the makerspace, we can continue to add the types of products that we can make. Another element of the makerspace that we promote quite heavily, and it's kind of grown quite a lot in the last couple of years, is entrepreneurship. We've partnered with the Young Entrepreneur Institute, which is Cleveland based, and they help us out by putting us in contact with various marketing organizations that allow us for free, allow my students to join different farmers markets or different marketing vending capabilities, where the students get to build their own products, produce them, and then sell them for a profit. And the students actually learn the entrepreneurship side of things too, where they get to make some money, make some products and learn about profits, learn about the cost involved in making it versus, what price you're going to charge for it, and the incentive for profit as well. So if some of you may have seen us set up at the Hudson Farmers Market, we've been there from time to time, and we do plan on joining them again in August. We have a booking there. So the students come in, I open up the makerspace a few times in the summer so the students can come in and design things that they want to sell at the market. And we're happy to show you some of those things now. I'm going to walk a little further away from my hotspot, so let me know if the signal starts to get a bit blurry. And then, of course, as you guys have questions, by all means, we're very happy to answer them. So Desmond is going to show us some of the things here that we've produced in the makerspace. And if you want to explain what they're seeing here.
So here you can see it's a Cleveland sign with the GPS coordinates to Cleveland. So what we actually did with this is we put a layer of black paint on it, and then we put it in our epilogue, which is a laser cutter, and we etched away the paint to get this white part here and the writing. Right here is another thing that we use in the epilogue laser cutter. What we do is we put it on a spinning mount, and then it took a laser and etched this little design on here for the Hudson Players Club, I believe. Here is one of our many 3D printed objects. This is actually a Hudson Clock Tower coin bank that you can just store money in. Right here is a water bottle of the Hudson High School that we did on a water bottle heat press. What we do, and you can see another few products we did on this, we printed this out on a special printer with ink, and this is a special water bottle. Then we applied the heat to it, which pretty much makes it on the water bottle. And that's not a sticker. It's not going to come off like in a washer or something.
It's a process called dye sublimation, which actually chemically bonds that image onto that permanently.
And the same thing with this phone case, same ink, all that. Another product we did on our epilogue, this is just wood. We took it, laser engraved the design into it. And another one of our 3D printed objects is we actually 3D printed this wrench here that in theory you could easily use to screw something in.
That wrench is actually something that is passed on from year to year from our club president. So it was like the handing of the wrench. So we just had the handing of the wrench in June to our new club president.
Same thing with the heat sublimation, except we just did it on coffee mugs. This is another 3D printed, just an easy little keychain. And
a lot of these products that Desmond is showing you, we also partner up with Destination Hudson right on the square, and in their visitor center, we sell some of these products through them.
A couple more things on the epilogue. This, we just cut it in 2 pieces and then glued it together. Now this is a hat we did, which it was a bit of a challenge, but we used our mindsets. We put all of our heads together and we actually made something pretty decent. Here's one of our famous buttons from our button press. Pretty easy. You just put 2 layers of metal on there, put the design, and then you crunch it down. These are actually some ornaments that you hang on a tree. You can just put a ribbon through it and put it on the tree. Also done on our epilogue laser cutter. Here, this is a slate coaster that we just engraved, and then we also have, I believe this is sandstone that you can just put into a heat press. So you'll see a lot of items we do are through the heat press and relatively quick and effective. Now this is a mouse pad, which I'm sure all of you have used. Just again, print it out, put it in the heat press. Some more laser cut out ornaments.
That's a wooden ornament. Yeah.
And then over here, we have one of our shirts. We just do it on a single piece of vinyl, then press it to the shirt, as you've probably seen on my back a bunch of times. Also got it on my sleeves a little bit. And then some more smaller buttons that we did just from our new smaller button press that we just got recently. Right here you can see two colors of ornaments. We got blue, and then we got these white ones that actually came out pretty well. That we just cut out on the same rotary color we did the wine flute with.
Might show them one or two more things, and then we'll show them around the facility.
And another new product we got is we actually just got leather. It's I believe it's all natural leather. Yeah. We put it in the laser cutter, just cut it out. It's been working very well. Gives a nice little odor.
Oh yeah.
And then again, another one of the bigger projects we can easily do on the laser cutter.
Yeah. So what's great about the laser cutter is it not only cuts, obviously it will cut that shape of Ohio and the little heart. It also engraves, so you can put a design on it as well. So what you're seeing are the results of numerous, there go the buttons. We have numerous trial and errors. One thing that we emphasize here in the Makerspace is to fail forward, because the first time you try to do something, it's not going to work at about 99% of the time. You're going to find lots of wrong ways to do it. And so the kids learn immediately to have patience with it and to persist with trying it from a different angle, to consult with some other people that might have experience with it and see if they have some insight that might help you further develop it and have some success. A lot of things you see here, the finished product might be version number 10, because it just never really, that's the whole process, is the learning process of seeing if you can get it to work out the first time, or if you're going to have to go at it from 10 different angles.
And then another thing that we forgot to mention, these are our magnets, which are also very popular to do. Here, I can take one out. Simple, what we do is we just get this little thing in the mail, print it out, heat press it, and then we just get some magnets with adhesive, stick it on the back. Those will last forever.
Mm-hmm. So do you want to show them some of the, show them the space? I'm sure they want to see that. And again, let's hope
actually, let's start over there.
Hope that we don't lose our signal, but we're gonna try here.
Here is a machine that we've had before I was even here. It's a Carvey. So what it does is it has a little bit that we can go down and we can just cut a shape out. So it's pretty much like pretty much if you want to do something smaller but not on the laser cutter.
Mm-hmm. So it's like a beginner CNC machine.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Another thing we got is we just got a great photo printer, which we're gonna actually start using for our buttons to get more high quality photos. Over here is two of the 3D printers. We got the Taz Mini and the Workhorse. So we just got magnetic beds with these, actually with a grant, so we can actually take off the prints easier without risk of damaging them. Applies things layer by layer, like that little keychain you saw, and then we can just put it off, put something on it, or not even modify it, like this little Benty boat we have here. And we can do very detailed designs. And a new addition to our, I guess, arsenal of 3D printers are these Prusas that we just got this one from a grant. This actually has 5 extruders, so it can extrude 5 different colors or types of plastics without us even having to manage it physically. This is another Prusa. It doesn't have the 5 extruder, but this thing has worked well for us so many times. That's why we had to get another one. Over here, we have our cricket maker, which he was just talking about. This is more on the crafty side. This you can just pop open. It's got a little cutter you can put down here. It's also got markers you can attach so it can draw for you. Another one of our cricket. Here's the famous button makers we were talking about. You just put the little piece of paper in here, pull this down right here, it cuts it, and then you just put it in here, and you just put in the pieces of metal and a plastic cover, crunch this down, you got a brand new button. Over here is where we got our main RC electronic stuff, all their boards. I'm not really into this area, but we got all of our electronic stuff over here. Here is actually a plane that our previous president built during the last days. You can see he used some of the RC components in the top. That actually we got to fly for a little bit. It wasn't very successful, but we had a bit of success.
And I'm sure he would have got it to work and keep it in the air a bit longer had he not went and graduated on us.
Yeah. Here is the mug press where we press our mugs. We actually, didn't we just get this off a grant?
Yep.
Yeah, we actually got that off a grant.
That
So
was
we can start pressing those faster.
a grant from Burton D. Morgan.
This is the heat press where we do all our shirts and stuff, all our mouse pads. And another great addition is we've actually updated. So all the information to do anything, we can just stick on a QR code and put it on the wall. So if I want to do like a cotton t-shirt, I just scan that, go through the little sheet, and I'm like, oh, a cotton t-shirt, 350 degrees, 2 minutes. I don't know if that's the exact, don't quote me on that.
Show them
Over
the wood
here,
shop.
we have our wood shop. We have our very own wood shop, rotary saws. Again, I'm not the best in here, but over here is the Shape Oka we were talking about. It's pretty much like a bigger version of our Carby. It's a CNC machine itself.
And this is a mini lathe. We've had some students make some custom pens, and the pens come out beautiful off of that lathe.
And over here is our Glowforge Pro. This is our smaller laser cutter. The advantage to this is if you look here, we actually got a camera. So it's connected to the computer. Then we just send directions from the computer to this. Push this button, it cuts, turn on the fan if we need to. And then this is an epilogue. It does not have the camera, as you can see, but it's more powerful and it's made better for more precise and obviously more powerful cutting.
We can do the round objects on there, the cylinders.
I believe we did the wood on there.
Mhm.
And then this is our heat sublimation printer. This is a special printer. We have to use a special ink to be able to heat press the stuff onto the bottles and the mugs and the mouse pad. And I gotta say, one of the favorite things, and Mr. Robitaille mentioned this, is our motto we have right up there. I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work. And that's what I would have to say that's our main philosophy, because no matter what we push through, we go through and we succeed and we do the best we can here.
Wonderful. Oh, in the corner here, we got some sewing machines, and under that cover is an embroidery machine. We've had some good trials with embroidery as well. And then one last piece of equipment here is a fairly large vinyl cutter. And that can cut, I think, up to 24 inches of rolls of vinyl.
It can do 24 inches wide, and pretty much the length is however long you can get a vinyl roll.
And that's how we were able to make the sign up above the storage there that says Hudson High Makerspace. That's a lot of vinyl that was cut out of that machine. So that is our Makerspace. I'm going to move over closer to the phone, where if they have any questions for us, we're happy to answer them if we can hear those questions.
Any questions from anybody in the room? We're going to ask that you come to the microphone to ask any questions.
And I want to be conscious of time. I'm not sure how long we had the floor. I hope I'm not going over your time here.
So with so many skill levels that you show there, how many people are involved in teaching these skill levels?
That's a good question. The way that we do training is student-based. So we train students. It starts with a student that has a lot of experience, or myself. And I'll admit there are some machines in here that there are students that know the machines better than I do. So I lean on those students to do some training. So they train the freshmen as we recruit new freshman members, and then they keep passing it on. So they pay it forward by students training students. We're in the process too of organizing a more formal training system where we're creating videos, and I'm editing them this summer, so that if a student wants to learn a machine, they can simply go up to the machine, scan a QR code that will be right above it, and see a YouTube video that explains how to use that machine. So it's a video that was a training video that was made by us.
Well, how can you get those ornaments? Can you buy them?
Yes, as a matter of fact, some of them are for sale at Destination Hudson and at the Visitor Center. And you can also contact me at the high school, send me an email or a phone call, and we can talk about what you're interested in designing, because the students will design something custom for you, or if you saw something you liked there, and we can talk about how to quantities and color and all that fun stuff, and how to go about ordering them. But we do take a lot of orders, both internally by staff here at the not only the high school, but pretty much the whole school district. I'm being contacted quite frequently. Can you make me this? Can you make me that? And so we're constantly fulfilling orders that way, but also from the community. Once word gets out, like especially at the farmers market, that we have these things, then the phone starts to ring and the word spreads. So yeah, if you just want to contact me here at the school, we can organize that for you.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Andrew, I have a question about time, and then I've seen a home plastic printer, and just to make a simple cup or something, it took hours and hours and hours. I imagine that yours are a little more higher level. What kind of time does it usually take to come out with a mold?
Obviously, a lot of factors depending on the size of what it is you're making, but it is a slow process using those 3D printers. What would you say, Desmond, if he's going to probably grab an example of something and then tell you how long it took, but something that's little, a couple inches tall, could easily take a couple hours?
Yeah, so these were actually some mask straps we used back when COVID was more prominent. So you could put it behind your head, and so it wouldn't be on your ears. I'd say to take one of these on our so we did these on our Prusas, which actually use a 1.75 millimeter head, while our Taz's use a 3 millimeter. So Taz's are a bit faster, less detailed. These are a bit slower, but you're going to get way more detail. This on the What Spot, you can see how small it is. I think it took like 27 minutes a piece.
Yeah, maybe about 20 to 30 minutes for one of those.
But obviously, the bigger the project, you have to account for stuff like infill, so how much plastic is actually inside it. But relatively, you can get like a decent sized thing, like about the size of my fist, done within a school day. So like 8 hours or something like that. But obviously it depends on the object, what type of plastic, all that stuff.
Yeah, some of the bigger jobs, we encourage the students to come in immediately, first thing in the morning, 7:30, 8 o'clock, and hit go, get it going, so that we try to finish all of our prints by 3 to 4 p.m. before we leave. But some of them, we've done some prints that have taken up to 17 hours, I think, but that was really big.
I had a recent print that was actually a face mask to go over my normal COVID mask. That one, we obviously have to get permission for these, and we have to use our own plastic, so we're not pretty much leaching the Makerspace the whole time. But that took, I think it took about 9 hours. So we went over the school day, and we're actually setting up a system. I forget what it's called right now. We have another student that's working on that, that will actually show a camera view of our prints so we can do longer prints overnight.
And view the printing process from home and hit stop if something goes wrong or whatever. Yeah. Yes.
I understand that you have entered competitions. Can you tell us a bit more about that experience?
Yeah, definitely. We were hitting the ground pretty hard with before COVID, where we traveled to different STEM competitions. We've gone to the Great Lakes Science Center. They have a competition. We also do the Summit County Engineer has a bridge building competition every year.
Yeah, that actually quite a few students succeeded. I know my team, we got 5th place, and then I believe one of our teams was in the top 3, or might have been 2 of them. So we participate in many competitions around the area.
Yeah, and sometimes we place pretty well. I know in the past we've got 2nd and even 1st place, I believe, with bridge building.
Yeah.
We're looking forward to doing that again this year. I hope it's on. It's usually in the winter. I know I'm usually driving there in a snowstorm, but so hopefully we get that going again this year, because that's always a lot of fun. And we also like to go to maker fairs. So I know Kent State has a maker fair, Cleveland does, Akron does, and whenever I can, I get the students out into the world. I have one of those van licenses through the district, so I can transport small groups of students in the vans. And sometimes we also get a bus. And like one example, a couple of years ago, we went to a virtual reality studio in Akron and learned how to use a lot of virtual reality photography and the equipment as well. So that was fascinating. So we love our field trips. Last year was hard on us, so we're looking forward to doing more field trips again. Yes.
So Andrew, very good job. You have a ton of equipment there. And I'm just curious, what percentage of the high school student body take advantage of it?
At this point, I would say it's a small percentage, and we're working on recruitment efforts this year to build that up, especially with the incoming freshmen. It's a balance that we have to keep. The amount of equipment and the finite space that we have in that room, we can't flood it with 100 students at a time. So our numbers have been roughly 50 has been an average per year, 40 to 50 active students. We're going to work on strategies to increase those numbers by having different times that the students will come. So some students might want to come we might have an AM session during our late start mornings. And then we'll also have a PM session after school. So if we can split the students a little bit that way, then we can increase our numbers. And that's what we'd like to do. Last year, I also started to work with some of the classes here. I worked with, there's an entrepreneurship class here with Emily Barger, and we joined forces with her. And I think another one, I'm drawing a blank on it, but I did join forces with another class to let those students they were not Makerspace Club students, but they had a chance to design something in our Makerspace for a class project. And I'm going to increase the amount of activity that we're going to do with class collaborations as well.
Hey, this is Phil Tobin here. Can I ask you, do you do any collaboration with the innovation group over at the Western Reserve Academy?
We have not done a collaboration with them, but it is definitely on my to-do list, because I know they have a very substantial makerspace going on there.
They do.
And yeah, I'd be very interested in, the plan was last year we were going to go visit them, and then we were kind of grounded, but I'd like to pick that up again when we can get ourselves over there, and definitely want to do that. Good call.
Thank you.
Any last questions?
You won't see me because I'm off camera, but just 2 questions. One is, I've seen where can the printers actually do like a ring within a ring? You know what I'm talking about? It's not a solid piece, but it's actually got, something inside of something else. And then the other question is, if a certain service organization that meets Wednesdays mornings want to develop some logo items, would you be available to work on that?
Yeah, definitely. We're excited about joining forces with service organizations. We actually do. We're increasing our collaboration with the service learning program that we have here at the high school. I work with those teachers, and we had a service learning student assigned to us last year and did lots of amazing projects. We had a fundraiser for our social studies department. some of their family members had medical needs. And so we created products that were then auctioned off and sold. So we do a lot with service learning. And I'd like to continue that this year. They know that I'm asking for another couple of students this year. We're also partnering up. We got a GAR Foundation grant that's going to be implemented this school year. That is for a tight collaboration with our special education department. We want to provide opportunities for students of all abilities to take advantage of the Makerspace, to learn vocational skills, as well as mentoring and social skills that involve having our Makerspace students mentor them. And I think the relationship building out of that experience is going to be hugely impactful, but also just giving the students of all abilities more access to the Makerspace. And because anyone can come in here and make something. I mean, it's got everything from, I mean, not everyone's going to fly in here and do a radio controlled airplane, but and I know I couldn't do that, but there is so much you could do in here that we want to tap into all of that. But as far as the double ring thing that you asked me about,
I think
is that the one where the ring and the smaller one spins? Is it one of those? Or?
Yeah, so we can do stuff like that. Like I know recently, or like a year ago, we've actually printed ball bearings and stuff like that. So we can do stuff like that. The thing with those is they might have a bit higher of a failure rate, but we can easily do that. We've had projects that have dived deeper into that. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Andrew, for your presentation today. We really appreciate getting to know more about the Makerspace.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having us, and thank you for all of your support. We've been great partners in the past. I look forward to continuing partnership.
I think I know where I'm going to be ordering our club badges from now.
We'll hit the ground running in August, right?
Sounds great.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you for presenting. So
you're welcome.
After a 14-month hiatus, Rotabuck raffle is back. So the winning ticket number is, okay, we'll go real slow, Doug. 716205. Catherine. She's turning it back. All right, Catherine's turning it back to the club. We'll you sure you don't want to? You want to come pull a marble and see if you want to give it all back? One final announcement. Next week, Wednesday, 5:30 at Hop Tree Brewing will be our first Pints for Polio event for this year. So just a reminder, we have a regular club meeting next week, Wednesday, and we have a Pints for Polio event next Wednesday evening. For you, Andy, they all count as makeups. So.
Patrick, are you going to have somebody doing breathalyzer tests before we get in our cars?
All right. And so I have now officially brought the box of dad jokes. And this one is appropriate for today's program. What's a robot's favorite snack? Computer chips. And with that, we are adjourned. Board meeting will be next door.